What's going on, guys? It's Screech here, and welcome back to another deck profile on my channel. My locals has become very standard right now, with the exact same decks playing at the exact same time, and I kind of fell into the same principle as well. That's kind of why you've not had a deck profile for about a week or 2 weeks, because I've been playing Earth Machine the entire time, and the deck is really good, but I fancied something different this week, and I fancied a bit of fun, and I played Toons. Toons, if you do not know, is my favourite deck of all time. I am an avid collector of Toons. I am currently midway through collecting a playset of every print of every Toon card ever released. So if there's any Toon cards you have, maybe in bulk, comment down below, because I may or may not be interested in buying them. But, without further ado, we opted to play Toons today, and this isn't even the most optimal build of Toons. The most optimal build of Toons that I have ever played, that I have played online when I've been playing for fun, is a much more expensive build than this that runs Magician's Souls and a few other things. And it's super consistent and super good. And I would recommend that build over this build. This build is still slightly on a budget, but by on a budget, I mean it's gone from like a £1,000 deck to a £700 deck. So it's not really a budget. It's Toons at the end of the day, so you don't even get your money's worth. But they are so fun, and if you have these cards lying around, you should definitely build this deck. If you're watching this, you're probably an avid player of Toons anyway. So, let's get into the deck profile and explain the card by card choice. So, Toons, this build of it, and kind of the build that most of the players are playing right now, revolve around 3 cards, which is your BLS, your Dark Magician, and your Red Eyes. You can play 3 BLS, 2 Dark Magician, and 2 copies of Red Eyes. These are your big beat sticks, and these are the things that you are going to be summoning all the time. These are the 3 things you also reveal off your page flip, which you search off your bookmark or your Toon table, and they all kind of do something. The deck isn't going to be putting up 10 negates, the deck isn't going to be putting up things. All it does is put up these big, beefy monsters quite consistently and attack directly. And sometimes that's all you need. Decks like Gren Manju do really well because of that. So we'll explain what the card by card choice does. Red Eyes lets you spec a Toon from your hand. Dark Magician is a discard to spec one from your deck or add a spell. And BLS is the only one that's different. This is special summon by tributing monsters that are equal or higher than level 8, similar to how you would ritual summon the original BLS. And then, once per turn, you can banish a card on the field, but if you do, it can't attack this turn. Also, this is the only one that doesn't have summoning sickness, which means it can attack the turn it is summoned. It is also a whopping 3,000 that, you know, if you can't deal with something, you just banish it with BLS. Plonk those up there. We'll move on to some other monsters. We opted to run 1 Cyber Dragon, 1 Mermaid, and 1 Harpy. These are here just because they are all free special summons. The Cyber Dragon is highly searchable and can be used to help make stuff like Chimeratech Mega Fleet if you are going second. Mermaid and Harpy Lady are also free special summons to help you extend into links. If you're going to go for a real optimal build, I would recommend you play Dragoon, but I kind of wanted to make this as a pure Toon deck. If I was going to make it a much more competitive build, which I might end up doing, which will run stuff like Magician's Souls, probably Dragoon as well, we will try that maybe in a few weeks' time, because this deck is actually surprisingly well. I came into this thinking that I'm going to get swept. I went 2-1, which is joint second place. I played Cosmo in the first round. 2-0'd. I played Dogmatika, shaddoll, invoked, which I got 2-0'd, but I kept my own for as long as I physically could. But you know, the deck's so good. The Dogmatika invoked and shaddoll Dogmatika invoked is so good. In my opinion, it's the best deck in the format. You know, you can argue Eldritch and stuff, but for me, it is the best deck. And that the guy we lost to went on to win the finals. And then in the last round, we played just a pure shaddoll list, which we won 2-0 as well. So, like I said, Cyber Dragon, it's essentially Cyber Dragon. You spec it and you can help make Mega Fleet because it is still a Cyber Dragon monster. Mermaid is literally just here because it's a free special summon. If you control Toon World, it's a free special summon. And same with Harpy Lady. But if you control an additional Toon monster, when Harpy Lady is summoned, you actually get to pop a spell and trap. So it's kind of a little bit of spell and trap removal as well. And then we're moving on to the non-toon cards. We had to play 3 copies of Ash, although, like I said, this isn't a meta build. I still wanted to at least withstand something and not let my opponent ransack me for 30 minutes just to go Toon Kingdom, normal summon, pass. And then on top of that, we also opted for 3 copies of the Blackstone of Legend. This being level 1, and going back to the other build, which is Magician's Souls being level 1, is really good because it helps you make stuff like Where Art Thou and a lot of other cards that can help combo that way. But that's for a different video. the Ash is just Ash, and Blackstone Legend helps you tribute to summon the Red Eyes. Moving on to the spells, because they are the main principle of this. Triple copies of Toon Table of Contents. This searches any of your Toon cards. Triple copies of Toon Bookmark. This searches anything with Toon World in its name. It also helps you protect your Toon Kingdom. Triple copies of Page Flip, which is your reveal 3 and special summon one of them. And last but not least, triple copies of Toon Kingdom. Toon Kingdom is your main thing. It's protect the castle, and by people saying protect the castle with decks like Mystic Mine, it's based around Toons, basically. This is your castle, this is your kingdom, and you must protect it in order to do anything, like, at all. Basically, it stops all your Toons from being targeted, which is always a nice effect, but more importantly, what it does do is, if a Toon card you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you get to banish a card from the top of your deck face down for each of those monsters. So even big board wipes, Regeki, Lightning Storm, Dark Hole, everything else, it protects. You just have to banish multiple of them. Running these all at 3 makes the deck super consistent. Almost every game I've seen at least 2 of these. And seeing these here literally gets you to like any card in the deck. So seeing the Toon Worlds or the Toon Bookmarks literally gets you to any card in the deck. And, you know, that's what you want. Ideally, you usually go table into bookmark and then bookmark into page flip, which will then, like I said, get you a special summon for either a BLS, a Dark Magician, or a Red Eyes. Moving on from that, like I said, you know, budget build, by the way, 3-Pot of Prosperity. You don't need your extra deck at all. So the Mill 6 just helps you see that last card you're missing if you're missing the last Toon piece. Helps you see additional kingdoms, helps you see your Mermaid or Sad Dragon or Harpy to get the special summon to help you extend. With them being able to help you extend, like I said, it makes making things like Dragoon or any other generic Link 2 super easy. Bahamut Toad is another thing that you can play in this deck because Mermaid is, of course, water. Moving swiftly on, we opted for double Comic Hand. Can easily run 3 of this, and I think in a future build I possibly would run 3 of this. Comic Hand is just it's a searchable Snatch Steal. Snatch Steal's been banned for so long, and Toons have a searchable Snatch Steal. Then, last but not least, we opted to run a couple traps. Triple copies of Torrential Tribute. Board wipes. It's the aim of the game sometimes. Similar to Earth Machine, you don't care about your stuff being destroyed, and your stuff isn't destroyed because Kingdom protects it. So, you know, Torrential the board, Kingdom protect. And it's really good. So good that I actually might cut these and main like 3 Dark Hole, 3 Regeki. Well, not 3 Regeki because it's not a 3. 3 Dark Hole, 1 Regeki. It's pretty good. And then all of your Toons are actually different types. So I'm opting for 3 copies of There Can Be Only One. I wanted something to help me withstand, and, you know, There Can Be Only One is a great card. And last but not least, I opted to run 1 Briefcase. It's searchable, and I didn't want to run multiple, but I did still want to run it because it is a really good card. Just when your opponent summons a monster, shuffle back in the deck. Helps you out stuff like Dragoon, and of course, like I said, it is searchable. This summon Verte Anaconda, back in the deck you go. And they then have to continue to extend to try and make a second copy of it. That's the main deck, a flat 40. We're actually going to go on to the side deck first, because it kind of ruins the extra deck a little bit. Side deck, triple copies of Droll, standard, triple copies of Lightning Storm, standard, triple copies of Lancia, standard, triple copies of Nibiru. Standard, Nibiru, didn't Nibiru anyone? Oh no, I did. I Nibiru'd one person today. I Nibiru'd the Cosmo player. And then stole the token with Comic Hand. You know, something you got to be aware of. You can let your opponent get the biggest, fattest 50,000 attack token, because you can just steal it with Comic Hand. And then, of course, it's treated as 2 and it's protected, and you can attack directly. And the last card we run in the side deck is Super Poly, because Super Poly's a good card. So now you know what the extra deck's going to be all about. It's all going to be Super Poly stuff, pretty much. So Link Karibo and Relinquish Demeanor. These are here to help you, in case your Blackstone gets impermed. If it gets ashed, it's a little bit different because it tributes for cost. But if your opponent imperms it on the summon, you still have options to make here. I would still run these in any build of the deck. Then we also opted for Nightmare Phoenix, Generic Link 2, Predapon Verte Anaconda for the Super Poly. You know, if it comes up. It didn't, but it can. Barricade Board Blocker as well as another Generic Link 2. Moving on swiftly to the XYZs. Didn't really run that many. If you're going to run anything, you should probably run XYZs, because it's the easiest to make. You can easily make rank 8s, easily make rank 7s, easily make rank 4s in this deck. But that wasn't the aim for me, so I kind of just ran the whole extra deck's just hot gab. Zodiac Dryden. This is here not by making it with 4 level 4 monsters. This is here for that Zodiac matchup. We do have a few Zodiac players at our locals. Comic Hand, stealing any of their cards that aren't Dryden. You can slap a Dryden on top. Simple as that. Beast Dweller, the best generic Link 4 in the game. I opted for the Red Eyes Flare Metal. Did actually summon this today. I think it might be the only... No, I summoned a few things from the extra deck. I got him down to 200 and then made Flare Metal. Just... it wins games. And then we opted to run the Zeus as well. Didn't come up. I was going to make it. I made Dweller, attacked with the Dweller into a shaddoll, and the shaddoll popped the Dweller. So I couldn't make Zeus after, which was a little bit annoying. And then it's the last cards, which are all fusions. So double copies of Toons. This is here for the Dogmatika matchup. For... Maximus, in case that. Like I said, Mega Fleet wouldn't cut this. It outstuff. I did actually manage to play game 1, round 1. He made a Cosmo board with a Lambda, and he also got the search for Gamma. So I Toon tabled, which he let resolve. I just searched Cyber Dragon, summoned the Cyber Dragon, contact fused off with the Lambda. The Gamma was then in his hand dead for like literally the rest of the game. So, you know, it's something you always got to be remember of, because this only requires a Cyber Dragon monster. Doesn't have to specifically be Cyber Dragon. And, you know, Toon's Cyber Dragon is a Cyber Dragon monster. So, something to always bear in mind. And then, last but not least, we ran 4 Super Poly targets. Kind of the 4 that you're going to expect. Starving Venom, everything's dark these days. Drago Necro was here for the Eldritch matchup, which unfortunately I never faced. Mud Dragon of the Swamp. And then the one I actually made twice... Construct. Our format, our locals, is dominated by shaddoll invoked, dogmatika invoked, shaddoll invoked, shaddoll generators, shaddoll zodiac, you name it, shaddoll's in there. So being able to fuse and summon off, in the ideal world, in the meta side of things, Mechaba and Winder in the invoked dogmatika matchup, or, you know, even a construct and something else, into your own construct is pretty good, because, you know, she doesn't get all of her recursion effects because you ain't running any shaddoll spells and traps. But she is still a phenomenal card, and it is something you always need to be aware of. She deals with pretty much anything. You know. If it battles a special summon monster, it just destroys it. Simple as that. So, it deals with a lot of things. But that's it. That's the whole deck. Yeah, like I said, I 2-0'd Cosmo, got 2-0'd by Shaddoll Dogmatika Invoked, and then 2-0'd pure Shaddoll. So... pretty impressed with the deck. Like I said, I literally expected to come rock bottom last with no wins, and, you know, you just would have seen a standard Toon deck, and I wouldn't have mentioned anything about my matchups. But I have mentioned it because the deck did far better than I thought it was going to do, and it's not even the most optimal build. So if you want to see the most optimal build, you should leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, you should do that anyway. It's been your boy Screech, guys. Peace.